Now I'm going to have a look at some more ways that we use algebraic expressions. So expressions that include letters and numbers. So in this case, we've got that 5 plus x minus 2x squared minus 6x plus x squared plus 16. We're asked to simplify it. What we've got is a number of different terms with plus or minus signs in between them. And the way we can simplify them is that we can put the like things together. For example, if we've got a plus 5 and a plus 16, we know that that equals 21. So we've simplified those two terms. We've got two x terms. We've got an x and a minus 6x. So x minus 6x is going to be minus 5x. And we can put together the x squared terms. We've got an x squared minus 2x squared. Now, x squared, whenever there's not a number in front of it, it's a 1. So this is 1x squared minus 2x squared. That's going to be minus 1x squared or minus x squared. We've simplified that term by putting together the like terms. This second question is a little bit different. I'll just see if I can put it. This second question is a little bit different in that we're all multiplying things together. And we're able to multiply straight through. We can work out the numbers and then multiply the a by the a by the a. So we multiply 4 by 3, that's 12. 12 by 5 is 60. A multiplied by a is a squared. A squared multiplied by a is a to the cube. So two slightly different approaches, but we've simplified by adding these together. We've simplified this by multiplying this into one term. And you can see the textbook references if you want to go and have a look a little bit further. Now we're going to add some brackets. And when we've got one set of brackets, it's a matter of multiplying both terms inside the brackets by the 2. So in this case, it's going to equal 2 times x, which is 2x, plus 2 times 4, which is 8. It's a similar process for the second one, except we've thrown a few negative signs in here, just to make it a little more challenging. We've got negative 3 times 2x, then negative 3 times negative 4. So let's start with this first term, negative 3 times 2x. The 3 times 2 is going to be 6, so it's going to be 6x, but it's multiplied by a negative here, so it's going to be minus 6x. We've got a negative multiplied by a positive, that gives us a negative overall. Now then we've got minus 3 times minus 4. Well, in terms of the number, 3 4s are 12, but because we've got a negative multiplied by a negative, that gives us a positive, so it's going to be 6x plus 12. So let's have a look at now what we've got in some of these different cases. 2 times x, we'll multiply out the brackets first and then we'll see how we can simplify. So 2 times x is going to be 2x plus 2 times 2 is 4 plus 6 by itself, and that's going to equal 2x. We can simplify plus 4 and plus 6, that's going to be plus 10. So 2x plus 10. The next one, we've also got some brackets that we're going to have to work through. So let's just say we'll go straight to those brackets first. We'll leave this as 4x plus 4. Now the brackets. 3 times x, that's going to be 3x. And we've got the little trick where we've got 3, a positive times a negative. 3 times negative 1 is going to be negative 3. And we can simplify this a little bit further because we've got 4x plus 3x, which is 7x. And we've got 4 minus 3, which is 1. Next question. We've got two sets of brackets here, so the first thing we're going to do is multiply the two sets of brackets out and see where we get to if we can simplify further. So starting these first brackets, 2 times a is going to be 2a, plus 2 times 2b is going to be 4b, 2 times A is 2A, plus 2 times B is 2B. And if we add these all together, we've got 2A and 2A, which is 4A, plus we've got 4B and 2B, which is 6B. So this expression here is the same as 4A plus 6B when we've expanded out the brackets and then put the like terms together. This next one is the pattern where we have to multiply the first by the first, then I multiply the first by the second by the first, and the second by the second. You can do it in different orders to that, so long as you end up multiplying this first one by each of the last ones and this second one by each of the last ones. So let's go in my order. First by first is going to give you A squared, because A times A is A squared. A squared. Now the next term is going to be A times 3. So for me that is plus 3A, nice and positive. And then the second term, we've got a negative here, so we've got to be careful. Negative 4 times A is going to be negative 4A. And negative 4 times 3 is going to be negative 12. So 4 times 3 is 12, and negative by positive is negative. We can simplify this just a little bit further, and we get that A squared and then we've got positive 3A minus 4A, so that's going to equal minus A, minus 1A, which we just write as minus A, minus 12. And that's our answer to that one, A squared minus A minus 12. And our last one, which requires us to do two different lots of equations, and which has a negative sign between them. So what we might do is we might multiply this side out first, keep the negative sign in there, multiply that out in the negatives, and then take them away from each other. So let's see how that looks. Working this out first. The first by the first, that's going to give 4A squared. Then the next term, it's going to be first by the first, and I go first by the second. It's going to be minus 8A, because 4A times minus 2, minus 8A. We go the first by the second here. So we plus 3 times A, which will be 3A, and plus 3 times minus 2, so minus 6. And then we've got to subtract all this second half of the equation. So A times A, as we multiply out the brackets, is going to be A squared. A squared. And then we've got A times 2, which is 2A. Then we've got 1 times A, which is just A, and 1 times 2, which is just 2. So let's simplify either side of this at this stage. So we've got only the one A squared term, 4A in this half of the equation, 4A squared, minus 8A plus 3A, so that's going to be minus 5A, minus 5A, minus 6, and then minus, in brackets, A squared, plus 2a plus 1a is going to be plus 3a plus 2. So we've got 4a squared minus a squared. That's going to equal 3a squared. Then the next term, we've got minus 5a minus another 3a, so it's going to be minus 8a. We've got minus 6 minus another 2, it's going to be minus 8. And that's what we get when we multiply both sides of the equation out and then subtract that second half from the first half.